So before we go around camp and talk to people, there is something I want to show you guys. I was, checking if there was any new things on the table, and there was. And then I noticed this. Most cordial greetings. My name is Sebastian Vale, sole heir of the Vale Princes of Starkhaven. I recently retook the throne of this great city from those who sought to gain it through unjust means. As a most devoted adherent of the Chantry, I felt the loss of Most Holy Justinia keenly. I, too, hoped for a resolution to the terrible conflict that claimed the lives of hundreds in Kirkwall, and now threatens to claim all of Thedas. I extend Starkhaven's hand in friendship to the Inquisition. Together, let us right the wrongs visited upon our world. Prince Sebastian Vale. What's interesting is that neither Colin nor Leliana have anything to say about this, even though they were both there in Kirkwall, so they know Sebastian. At least if you have the DLC, like I did. But the only one we can do is Josephine. I will send emissaries through the Free Marches. Cities have always been independent, earning the support of the most prosperous ones, maybe to our advantage. I look forward to future collaborations with the Inquisition. Please accept this gift from the Vale's family coffers. May be put towards relief efforts in Starkhaven. In Andraste's love, Prince Sebastian. I just thought that was rather amusing. There wasn't really anything else significant. There was a couple of other missions on here about helping out the Templars get things like, lyrium and other stuff like that. But that was the only one I actually wanted to show you guys, just because, of course, that involved Sebastian. So let's go around and talk to people, see if they have anything new to say after the events that we just went through.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's Templars. According to Lady Corpin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
Mage circles started falling years ago. The Chantry was troubled even before the Divine's murder.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevara, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
So if everyone listens to the chant, things will be smooth as silk?
I did say commonality is merely a beginning, but it's an important one. We must learn to think beyond our own wants, to secure peace in Thedas.
That reminds me of a quote that I believe it was Spock who said that logic is not the end of wisdom, it's the beginning. For those of you who don't know what the context or what that means, he was basically trying to tell another Vulcan that when it comes to wisdom, it's not all about logic, despite what some Vulcans may say or think. You can be able to start off with some logic, but then move on from there to something else in order to reach the conclusion you're searching for.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montilier?
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
I'd tell the Chantry I was saved by circumstance, not divine intervention.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you. Greetings.
Alright.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Please tell me if you find something.
Oh, I already turned that in, so... No need to tell you, I just turned it in.
It is good that you salvaged as many Templars as you did, my dear. We will need every Templar, but they will require proper management. We also need to increase our lyrium supplies considerably. The Chantry may still have stockpiles we can use.
Cullen will look into it. He must already have a supply line.
He undoubtedly did. But it was established before the Divine Conclave. The situation has changed. The breach has done more than disfigure the sky. The veil itself is broken. All mages, no matter how skilled, are now in danger of drawing demons to them. Before this crisis is over, you may find that Templars, flawed as they may be, are all that stand between us and chaos.
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages.
It's not so much an opinion as grasping the obvious. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
There are no Templars among the Fashath.
My dear, your people cut the tongues from mages they deem dangerous, just as the Kunari do. And they kill those they deem too weak to resist demons. Your people are no kinder than any other. For those who value survival, sentimentality is not an option. Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
Mages shouldn't be kept out of the Chantry. Who knows the dangers of magic better than a mage?
A curious idea. Such twists and turns your mind takes. It's something to consider, my dear.
It's a bit of an interesting, complicated topic to discuss, with also more complicated answers to those kind of questions, because it's not so simple, cut and dry. It's one of the things that actually kind of irritate me about some of the discussion topics in this game, especially a question like that from Vivian, where it's such a layered and complicated issue to talk about and discuss, and I wanted them to just kind of like, as you give an answer, they give you a response type of question. Like, Vivian, I tell Vivian about that, and she goes, "Oh, really? Well, then what about this?" You know, and then it just kind of keeps going to kind of really explore the complications of the issue that's being discussed, as well as being able to have the opportunity to provide more complex and in-depth answers, just to really help get through how interesting and in-depth and you know, complicated the issue is. Because, well, yeah, like I hope that for a couple of those answers, like one of them, obviously, it was like, well, I got to give that because it's unique to the Kunari character, especially a Kunari mage. But
listen, I'm not saying that the Chantry doesn't do good work, but there's more to life than singing and praying. You used to feel that way too.
How I feel has nothing to do with what must be done right now.
Mm-hmm. But also the idea that, look, I mean, you may as well get involved, you know, and have them get involved to help kind of like make sure both sides understand what's going on and make sure that common ground can be reached.
So the Templars will put their powers to use, sealing the breach. Any group corrupted by a demon must be watched carefully. At least they know how to fight.
The Templars are a powerful force. The thing affecting them was not just a simple demon.
Fair enough. Bear in mind the demon, however powerful, was but a single minion of the Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again with the Templars. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
No kidding. So sorry about that, but the game crashed on me. So
You can't be happy giving up your whole life for the Maker.
Templars filling up the place. Best of the polished helms come to save us.
Good partners, I suppose, if they decide to stay and do what they're told. Seem to have a problem with that.
I can't tell. Do you approve of Templars or not?
Approve. They do their job when they do it. What else is there to know? You want about anything else?
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
I won't.
The Templars will be an asset to this Inquisition. It's a shame we couldn't also get the mages on our side.
I'll leave you to your work.
We can get that for you right away, sir. But
So, the Templars joined the Inquisition. Even with Cullen here, I never thought that would happen. Of course, after Kirkwall, I never thought anyone would use red lyrium on purpose either. The Templars should know better than anyone what that shit does to people. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
I'd like to keep hoping it's a coincidence, if you don't mind. I need to be able to sleep at night.
Honestly, I think I'll give up sleeping for the foreseeable future. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
We can't know what's coming. Best not to get too comfortable.
I can't disagree with that. But maybe you should try to relax while you can. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know. Need something?
Carry on.
Hey, Cole.
You took in the Templars. You let them stay in strength, even after what they did. Their own people. It's dangerous when too many men in the same armor think they're right. You should prepare. It's already getting louder.
What's going to be loud?
I don't know, but there are echoes rushing back across us, ripples in a pond from a stone, but backward. But first, you seal it. I hope it hurts less. I'll help if I can, but I don't always say it right.
You helped me at the Seeker Fortress. Say it however you like.
I helped. It's good to hear. I will try.
I'd like to talk with you about Templars.
They're heavy with forgotten songs, like Varric. Some of them are too loud. It's hard to stay near them. Cullen is softer, but demons asked questions that hurt him. Evangeline was kinder. I want to explain, but Reese's mother spoke to spirits, but not to him. Then she died for a Templar he loved. Words just bounce off the edges.
By the way, I want to say something really quick I just thought about. So, believe it or not, there are some conversations you can have. You probably noticed the approval and disapproval thing. It's kind of a callback to how it was in Origins, to the point where characters can actually reach the point where they actually want to leave you and, like, grow to absolutely despise you. I was thinking, like, as we were talking to Cole, I was thinking ahead to his quest when we get the choice, because it's basically between either Varric or Solus. And I started thinking, I'm probably going to end up going with a very, probably anti-Solus run this time around. In my main canon run that we did before with my Dwarf Rogue, we were basically, ending up trying to befriend Solus and try to see if we can help him out or redeem him and all that. I think we'll be going the opposite route. I don't know if this means we'll end up, because I actually have not tracked, like, this choice means this person approves and this person disapproves. I haven't tracked that with this game like I used to with Origins, because I used to do that a lot with Origins. When I was doing runs, I would actually pull up the wiki and check, like, okay, if I make this choice, then I get approval for this person or disapproval for this person. I never really bothered doing that with Inquisition, because like I said, I kind of grew tired of trying to play through this game over and over. But I've seen other people actually try to do runs where they will actually try to capture the footage of when those characters reach that point where they have so much disapproval of you, they either say how much they hate you or how much they want to leave and, like, get away from, from you and the Inquisition. I think there, like, a couple I've seen have been Solus and Dorian, where then you can actually have the option to hit them in the face, and it's actually quite funny. I remember the one with Dorian I saw where he actually calls you that, he says that the way that, when he's talking to us, he says, the way you grow like a cancerous growth, it sickens me. And then you get the option to I think it's either punch him or slap him in the face or something like that. Because he's like talking about how he wants to leave because he wants to get away from you because of how much he despises you and you sicken him. And I remember seeing that, and the reaction of you hitting him, it was just like, oh my gosh, because I guess it's like a really hard hit or something like that. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to that point with any characters in this run, because again, I don't know how much my choices will bounce back and forth between approval, disapproval. I don't really know, but maybe we can actually capture that, like at least with a character like maybe Solus. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but it'll be interesting to see.
What's your general opinion of Templars?
Some like hurting mages. It makes them happy, or less afraid, or dreams again. Woke up shaking, stalking the ground for one who looks like her. Always some rule being broken. But not all Templars listen when whispers crawl around inside them. They try to protect people, like Cullen. The good ones remember that mages are people.
Can you tell me more about how the Templars feel to you?
They feel older than they look. They've been changed, and their bodies are incomplete now. The lyrium helps, but their bodies always want to connect to something older, bigger than they are. That's why they block magic. They reach for that other thing, and magic has no room to come in. Like when I listen to Varric.
Can you tell me more about how the Red Templars are different?
The red lyrium is different, darker, daggers under the skin. It eats you inside until you're nothing. They hear a different song. The song behind the door old whispers want opened. They are dead and dark and done.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably. I don't like what you're doing. If we don't help people here, I will find another place.
I'm a little surprised he said that.
I'd like to talk with you about the Inquisition.
I don't understand it. People talk like it's a person, but it's not even a thing. A dagger can be a way to let pain out, but even if it isn't, it's still a dagger. The Inquisition isn't real unless it has something real to make it. It's like a spirit.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know? She hurts, but helping hurts more. She sees the strings that pull me, eyes like raisins in a stale cookie.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
Here, tell Mother Giselle that this is as much as I can spare.
Make her bless you.
He had better.
We got the Templars on our side. Glad to hear it. I'll keep the charges at a respectful distance. Not that the chief has any apostates in the group.
We'll talk later.
Demons. It had to be demons. Getting into your head. Messing around.
It's dead now.
That's why I like you, boss. Always staying positive. Anyway, with the Templars on board, hopefully we can close that breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
Good day to you. Please send Fisser our thanks for the refreshments.
Of all the things in the world, a demon who wears someone's face. I imagine it makes trusting others risky.
Without trust, how would we build alliances? Or friendships?
It's easy to speak well of trust when yours has never been misplaced.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Something must be done, immediately.
Nothing will be done.
Commander Cullen said the same thing. It's an outrage. There are mages here we know are guilty of heinous crimes. You would let that pass?
Yes, as will you. We are not here to coddle the Order. You are an ally. Act like one.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
Is there an issue with the Templars? Can I help?
The Templars need to learn they have other uses than hunting mages. It's not easy for them. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I had to think on my feet, and I did what I could.
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
I find myself wondering, is this a bug, or is this really how they wanted to do the camera work for the scene? Because isn't it a little jarring the way they just kind of keep going back and forth between those camera shots on Cassandra's face? I'm just like, oh my gosh, we're zoomed in really, really close. It's like, come on.
I am rather clever, aren't I?
Close the breach. Then I'll agree with you.
Gee, fine then.
Is there anything you need?
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Cole, or whatever he calls himself, may have helped at Theronfall, but that doesn't mean we should trust him.
I will vouch for Cole's character. Give him a chance.
I'd rather he keep away from me. I suppose my concerns can wait. We must focus on the breach. The Templars are making final preparations. After what happened with the Lord Seeker, they're eager to prove themselves.
The Templars aren't responsible for what happened at Theronfall. They have every right to be here.
I do not question those joining us, only those who betrayed them first. I knew parts of the Order were corrupt, but Red Lyrium? What were they thinking? If you had not gone to Theronfall, there would have been no one left to save.
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the Chargers on our side. Fool's men are professionals, despite evidence to the contrary.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
See reason, Lisette. We cannot stay here.
Commander Cullen took me aside to explain what happened at the redoubt. Disturbing news, but I'm glad you were there to intervene. Thank you.
Pretty sure we already talked to her about this stuff. I think.
I will talk to you later.
Walk in the Maker's grace.
I think that's everybody. Yep, that's everyone. Okay. since that's everybody, when we return, we will be closing the breach. Stay tuned.